Hi there, I'm Charlene from the Manic Herbalist blog. Today I'm going to be whipping up some of my favorite lip balm in my little New Mexico kitchen. I'm going to run through a quick list of ingredients with you, starting with my favorite, the doTERRA essential oils. I'm going to run through in more detail the great combinations that you can make to customize your lip balm, but we'll come back to that in a minute. So I've got several doTERRA essential oils here. You can use one or two, combination of two if you like. And again, depending on what you have on hand, there's a multitude of combinations that you can work with. I've got a shallow pan here, which I'm going to use to melt my ingredients. I am starting with, let's see, I've got 4½ tablespoons of beeswax. These are little beeswax pellets. I don't know if you can see them. Two tablespoons of coconut oil. I've pre-measured these in hopes to get through pretty quickly. 1 tablespoon of cocoa butter. Now, you can buy the cocoa butter pellets online, and I thought I had purchased that, and I actually purchased a block instead. So it's kind of hard, but if you have a metal spoon or measuring spoon, you can just shave it right off like this. But again, if you can find the pellets, highly recommend them. They're pretty easy to use. And then I have shea butter. I've got 1 tablespoon of shea butter here. So I buy shea butter in a large block, but this is what it looks like. Looks kind of just like butter. Okay, let's see. And then I have some measuring spoons. You're going to need some glass bowls. I'm going to start with a large Pyrex like this one. I'm going to be making about 20 tubes of lip balm today. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tint some, and some I'm going to leave untinted, and the flavors are going to be slightly different. So what I'm going to start by doing is melting my ingredients in this cup, and then when that melts, I'll be dividing it up into some smaller bowls. So if you're only going to be doing 1 scent of lip balm, it's pretty easy, and you won't need all that. I've got my shallow pan here. And I'm just going to take about 4 cups of water and pour it right in. And hopefully I don't make a huge mess here. All right, looks like it actually might take more like, I don't know, maybe 5 cups. So I've got about 1 inch or so, about 1.5 inches of water in here, and I'm just going to put it right on my stove. I'm going to turn it on high, and we're going to get this water boiling. Now I've got my Pyrex cup, and I'm just going to pour my beeswax, and I'll review this really quick, the quantities. 4½ tablespoons of beeswax. You can do 3 tablespoons if you want your lip balm consistency to be a little softer. But if you're going to use lip balm tubes, as I mentioned before, I recommend 4½ tablespoons of beeswax. Here's my 1 tablespoon of shea butter, my, let's see, what is this? 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. I'm trying to read my recipe and go through this as quick as possible so that I make sure that I'm accurate for you. And then this is cocoa butter. This is 1 tablespoon. So I've dumped it all in here. And now I'm going to go ahead and place this in my pot of water over here on the stove. Okay, so I've turned it down just slightly because I'm going to have my back turned to it, and I don't want a catastrophe. Although it'll probably take about at least 5 or 10 minutes to melt. While we're waiting for that to melt, I just want to go over with you how I do this. So I've protected my work surface with a piece of wax paper, and that's because I'm working over wood, which is porous, and I just want to protect it from the oils and the wax. Now, if you're working over tile or another laminate or granite countertop, when you're working with wax, it's really easy to just let it cool and then scrape it right up. So I have 20 lip balm tubes here that are empty, and I've taken the little wheel all the way down to the bottom. I've removed all the caps, and I'm just going to take these and place them over by the stove now because I will be working quickly. Now let's go over the oils. My favorites for lip balm are the citrus oils, and the reason why is they just make a great flavor for lip balm. Some of the ones that I recommend are grapefruit, lemon, wild orange, let's see, oops, I'm putting them too far back, citrus bliss, sorry about that. And there are some others to name, but these are my favorites. I also recommend, these are exceptions to the citrus essential oils. Rosemary is a good one. Lavender is a good one. And my favorite is peppermint. So you can use any combination that your heart desires. Now, I typically use peppermint in combination with citrus because I just love that minty zing that I get in combination with peppermint and anything else pretty much. Another one that you may not have thought of that works really well, if you have doTERRA's cinnamon essential oil or their clove, you can do a combination of those two. However, On Guard is super awesome. So it has clove and cinnamon, to name a few essential oils in this blend, and it also makes a great lip balm. Now, this recipe calls for 30 drops of essential oil, but I'm a peppermint fanatic in my lip balm. So when I use peppermint, rather than doing, for example, 30 drops total of essential oil, what I'll do is I'll do 15, which is half of 30, of the grapefruit, but then I'm going to bump my peppermint up, and I'll probably do somewhere around 25 drops of peppermint oil. So it's really your preference. I would say 45 drops of oil in this recipe for 20 tubes of lip balm is plenty, but again, you can use the suggested 30 drops of essential oil in any single or combination of doTERRA essential oils that you choose. All right, now I think I'd mentioned a little while back, a little bit ago, that I'm using mineral powder, and this is just some mineral blush powder that I've had left over that I'm no longer using, and so it's going to make a great tint for my lip balm. Again, this is optional, and you can choose to eliminate it if you want to. All right, I'm going to check on our beeswax, cocoa butter, shea butter concoction and see how it's doing. Now, I've got this popsicle stick that I'm going to be using to stir mine, but you can use a wooden spoon or a metal spoon. Again, you know, if you want to use something that's disposable that you want to toss, by all means, but if you have a metal spoon, it's really quite simple to just wipe it off when the wax gets hard. Okay, so the water looks like it's just starting to boil, and this is just starting to melt. And in just a few moments, when we get further in, I will bring the camera just a little bit closer so that you can see it. Okay, so I brought you over here to the stove so that you can get a closer look at what this looks like. So here's our mixture, and you can see that it's starting to melt. So I'm just going to give it a gentle stir to help move it right along. Now, because I am creating lip balms in a couple different flavors, let me move this up. Hi. Hi there. I am going to be dividing this melted mixture into a couple of different glass containers. So I'm actually, while that was melting, I decided on the essential oil that I'm going to be using for my lip balm. So I'm going to be doing peppermint lime for the guys, and for the girls in my life, I'm going to be doing peppermint grapefruit. And those are the ones, the peppermint grapefruit are the lip balms that are going to be tinted. Now, another great combination is lavender rosemary. Here's some lip balm that I made last time, and you can see I've got just a little label on it, and I just use a label maker and just kind of spit these labels right out from my little machine. But you can also use labels, like file labels or anything like that, and you can just write on them, write on your tubes with Sharpies. So what I like about these labels is that they're pretty much smudge proof and waterproof. Oh, one more thing I need to mention is that the recipe that I'm going over with you today does not have sunscreen in it. But if you want to add sunscreen protection to your lip balms, you can add, oops, sorry, this is rattling a little bit. You can add 1 tablespoon of zinc oxide, and you can also find that in your local health nut store. And if you can't, you can definitely find it online. All right, so let me put the camera back down here so that you can see. Careful not to burn yourself. Okay, we're almost there. So basically, I've taken the melted mixture from the main Pyrex cup and I've divided it into 2 smaller. And that's so that I can make a couple different essential oil lip balm scents. So let me just pull this out really quick, hopefully without scalding myself. And you can see that this mixture, let's see, can I get that to you? Has the tint in it. Can you see that? Go stick it back in before it cools. And ideally you're going to work right from your stove, but because I want you to see how I fill these tubes, I'm just going to bring one of these bowls over really quick and show you how easy it is to fill your tubes. I'm just going to turn the heat to low because I really just want to keep the wax from melting while I'm talking to you, or hardening rather. Okay, so this is the peppermint lime that I've made for the guys. It has no tint in it. And I've got my pipette, and basically very quickly I'm going to work to fill my little lip balm tubes. Now what I do is I fill them as close to the top as I can, and then I'll come back in a few minutes and top it off after it's hardened a little bit. This is so easy, it really is. Now, you know, if you get this creamy moisturizing lip balm mixture on your hands, just rub it in. Rub it into your elbows, your knees, your knuckles, anywhere you might get dry skin. Okay, so I'm just working quickly here. So, you know, I divided the mixture, to clarify, into a couple of different bowls, and I divided the essential oil amount in half. So one bowl has about 25 drops total because I like that extra peppermint, and the other one has the same, just different citrus based oil. Okay. Go back here really quick. Just top it off so that I have a nice round top to my essential oil. You'll see what I mean when you fill them. I think it's kind of hard for you to see now, and of course I'm working so quick. Just going to try to get this all through the pipette so that now, depending on the containers that you use, as I mentioned before, you should get about 20 lip balm tubes. And of course, it also depends on how full you fill them. So I go back and I fill them pretty full. That one's nice. So I just have a nice round top. Okay, now I've got this beautiful tinted mixture that my girls are going to love. And again, I'm just going to work quickly. To get all my little tubes filled. Fill them as much as I can the first time around, and then going back a second time or even a third time after they've hardened a little bit, just to top it off to get a nice round top to my chapstick, my lip. So I hope that you've enjoyed this how-to video, and stay tuned for more fun recipes on my blog. To get started with your own doTERRA, simply visit my blog at www.themanicherbalist.com and start your own happiness in the world of high-quality doTERRA essential oil. Take care. Bye-bye.